14 Pro League cast with Brennan and Wolf.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right, we have, of course, the Red Zerg player of MVP. This is MVP Shine.
Shine, I'm going to talk about him a little bit more after we introduce our player. To the bottom left, in the blue, the meticulous, very safe, solid mid-game player. It's Trap, formerly of STX, currently of IM. Shine is a hero of Korean esports, and I'll tell you why. This guy has been around for many, many years. He played for TSL, and back in the day when he was playing on TSL, he was one of the weaker Zergs on the team. And by the end of TSL, a lot of people had left the team. There were a lot of team trades. Players like Fruit Dealer, Puma come to mind as some of the first ones. There was a lot of drama with OGS, things back in the beginning of esports, but Shine was not really a part of any of that. He stuck with his team to the end, and he was one of the last players to play, along with Center at the very end. IM fan here. It's a really nice drawing that he did of the IM logo. But Shine stuck around, and I remember when the last player played, I think it might have been Center, was technically the last player to ever play for TSL in a televised match. He was at the studio, and even after the team disbanded, he kept wearing his TSL jersey everywhere, very passionate about his team. And then when he was picked up for MVP, he's overshadowed by players like Sniper, for example. And he's been a Zerg player who, like I said, never really was high profile, so never really had a big salary, never won big tournaments, never even had a top finish. But when it comes to teamlings, he always comes out, he shows good games, SPL2014 games fighting, speaking of games. But it's really good to see a player like that just still motivated to love and play the game and continue to just be loyal to a completely new team that he's joined now. And I'm just very happy to see such a young player who never made it yet, big-wise, who's got a lot of skill, just saying, one day I will, and I'm not going to quit.
Yeah, the thing you have to focus on is that this guy, like you said, he's been mid-tier basically, and you have to focus that it's really, really hard to do something like that. He's not a guy who's in the front, who's on camera. I mean, he is on camera technically now, but he's not the guy in the lights where people are like, oh, I want to get an interview with Shine. I want to do this and that. He's not, the ST, the MVPs of long ago. He's not one of these guys, Innovation or any of the big players now.
He's not even a Trap, honestly.
Yeah, he's one of these guys who will stick around because of his love of the game. And he's going to continue with whatever team he's on. He will be loyal to it. He's going to play very, very well for whichever team he's on.
Very diligent. 2014 wide and speed SK Telecom LTA with Pro League. So he's got a late cannon job going up here, and this actually could be a problem for Shine. Trap saw that it was double hatch before pool. With 3 drones, though, see, 3 drones is all you need to actually kill a building cannon. So if he decided to commit, it would have cost him too many resources to make it worth it. And that hurts that he has to cancel. But it does force Shine to at least be diligent in his defense. He has to send multiple drones over. Yeah. But that Forge now needs to be used for something. He needs to make sure he can get the investment out of it. I'd like to see a very quick +1 come out of him, and maybe even a 4 gateway pressure timing, because it's a risky third that we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, he was putting that pylon there to just say to Shine, hey, I know what you're doing. I'm in your face. Like, I'm going to make you actually play and do something against them. I'm not going to let you take this third base for free. I mean, he didn't really do anything to stop that from going up for free. He did technically still take it for free because that third actually completed while the drones got there. So, I mean, like you said, that Forge going up really, really early. He's got to use it for something at least early on. I think he might have built a cannon, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even, the thing is, he doesn't even need he doesn't even need a cannon right now with this build. It's very safe. He's got a tight wall. There's the cannon going up. He needs it a little bit later, but he knows the double hatch before pool. There's not even going to be Zerglings coming across the map for a really long time, so I'm hoping that he gets something out of this. I hope he gets a +1 early here with this, because a lot of Pros players would have skipped it for much longer with this type of build, but just be poking with the Stalker and the Mothership Core right now, attacking a little bit faster, but all of those things are delayed as a result. So Shine in a really good position here with that early third base.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Trap goes against this. Like you said before, very safe, very meticulous player. And we see it right here. He's putting down that third, which is a pretty good timing against this. Shine still getting that up way far ahead of Trap.
Yeah. Third Nexus very early for Trap as well. And this Overlord will get killed. And he needs to get over and identify that there's a third Nexus. I don't think he's sending his Earthlings over just yet. His first two are moving across the map, just controlling the watchtower right now. But if this base gets up unscouted, or at least, you know, his wall gets up before he even knows about it, this is going to be very annoying for Shine. Because on this map, at these positions, a Protoss player on 3 bases can easily take a fourth and then control the map because he's expanding towards the Zerg player.
Yeah, like, if you look at this map, you can just take that fourth very easily. It is in the way of, you know, getting to the Zerg base, and you can just have many of your units to defend that fourth and just be ready to attack as well. So you're just really close to the Zerg, which the Zerg never really likes. He likes to have some space between you, use his high mobility units to get over to you if he wants to be aggressive. And Shine's going to have to deal with this some way. Like you said, he has not scouted this just yet, I believe. And he's, you know, if he doesn't at least take a fourth or try to be aggressive here, he could fall a little bit behind here.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually seen this still. He hasn't sent any big groups of units across the map. He's now looking like he may do that actually for the first time. I think he's expecting the more normal third that we see usually at the 7 o'clock position near the Bridge of Doom to the south. But it's actually not there. Now he sees it with one Zergling, but he doesn't see that there's 6 gateways being added right now, and we're going to see an almost Night End-esque timing where he's got just a ton of stalkers moving across the map off of 3 bases, third base barely saturated. At least he finds the pylon. That's huge.
Yeah, he gets that pylon. He has the speed for the Zerglings now. He has a sizable amount of Roachers. I think he's going up to 11 or 12 now. So he is going to have some army against this, but he has to scout the fact that so many of these gateways are coming down.
Yeah, this is really, really scary here for MVP fans and Shine fans because this push is going to be strong. +1 attack, nearly done. And he doesn't have to commit now that he lost his pylon. It's going to be a little bit difficult. But still, that moment where the pylon was going up, if he had been able to secure that and continue to push, that would have been disastrous potentially for Shine here. Now he's still continuing to produce Stalkers and Probes, so he's not committing to the attack anymore. But he needs to tech. If he's not going to commit to the attack, he absolutely needs to tech because only +1 is not enough. He doesn't have +2. And he's just going to throw that probe away again. He really needs a forward pylon.
Yeah, and at the same time, Shine having control of that watchtower, continuously sending in the Zerglings. He now knows exactly how many gateways Trap has, so he just had to be careful building a bunch of roaches now, as well as drones, taking up to that Infestor Pit as well, taking that fourth. He knows that that Trap has the ability to make a ton of units, but he's just not seeing it come across. He sees it coming right now, and that might make him make a bunch more roaches, as he does 15 on the way.
Yeah, 50 on the way, speed almost done, +1 armor as well. Consider that this is a rare circumstance where a Protoss player's Robo is after the Infestation Pit. If you're ever a Protoss player trying to go into any sort of tech ever or continue into the late game, if that's happened, you've done something wrong. Either that or you're going for a big commitment like this, and they'll see how much he can get done with this. There's a lot of sentries here. Good concave on the other hand from Shine.
Yeah, really good concave, but Trap has gotten a really nice position right now behind these minerals. He could actually focus that Nexus down if Shine is not careful. Take away that third. A bunch more units going across the map, though. They are going to attack the third of Trap.
Trap's third is under attack here. He's got a few Stalkers to defend as well as he can. With a few Warpens, he might be able to defend. He's also got Immortals on the way. A little bit late on these forces, on the other hand. Good Stalker micro here, but the Roaches may overwhelm him eventually. He has to pull back with the Time Warp there.
He has to pull back. These Roaches at the third also are going to be pushed away. Continuously warping in units are not allowing Trap to reinforce his army at the third, but he is going to take that hatchery down, which is big for him. Shine responding by sending the bulk of his Roaches actually across the map towards Trap's base right now.
Yep, here they go, and Pathogen Glance is on the way for those Infestors. Remember, all these Roaches do have +1 armor, but the attack upgrade is not ready yet. This also applies to all Zerg units, the Carapace upgrade. The base to the top right is actually secured now for Shine. That's a very far base away from Trap, so it's not going to be easy for him to attack that. He's even taking another hatcher right now, a macro hatch during all of this. Miss rally on the Overlord, and that Immortal's a little bit out of position.
Immortal's a little bit out of position. Pretty good force fields, though, but a lot of Roaches coming from the right side as well. Those Roaches on the left continuing to hit the buildings. They are going to be trapped over there. That Immortal has to be careful, and Trap following that army actually to the right, making sure that he gets as many of those Roaches as he possibly can, but these Roaches coming into the main as well.
Yep, Roaches in the main base here, actually going to try to unpower that Twilight Council. Another pylon goes down immediately to reinforce. Pathogen Gland's nearly done. Going to line up with these Infestors. One Immortal actually will kill all of the Roaches. That's how Immortals work. But the situation here is actually a little bit uncomfortable for Shine because he has a lot of hatcheries. Yes, and his tech is really good, but he just attacked relatively haphazardly, I would say, and lost a huge army. So now he needs to get those Infestors to buy him time to remax with the awesome economy he's about to have.
Yeah, he's getting the Infestors out. He does have 4 bases that are going up here. He does have +2 for attack and armor on the way, which will be good for him. But on the other side of things, Trap also getting that +2 for attack, continuing to making the Immortals and getting Blink as well.
That hatchery right over here, the 3rd base has been recompleted. The 4th base not really mining for him. He never really was. So even though he's had that for a while, he's kind of discounted because it hasn't been used. The 4th base is only good if it's mining, and that Nexus, or rather that pylon, will go down. Big, scary army for Trap, still on the map. And I think what he's expecting here is that if he loops around, he's going to find that there's a 4th base here. Well, there's not, in fact. So if he tries to attack down the ramp into a Zerg concave with Infestor support, this could be a big problem. But there's no Zerg army there. He's actually totally out of position. Here come those Stalkers.
The Stalkers are coming in, taking out a bunch of creep tumors on the way. A really nice bungle onto a lot of those Stalkers, continuing to chain those, but not a lot of ground army besides that.
Yeah, not a lot to support the Infestors. The Fungals are excellent, but they can only do so much. The Stalkers starting to fall here, but the Immortals in the back still do their damage. Bouncing back and forth as they do, and Roaches falling left and right. This push is so strong for Trap. And here comes that Mothership Core to help out. Guardian Shield goes down as well. Another nice bungle.
A lot of nice bungles going down, but the question is he going to have enough ground army besides the Infestors to clean up this army? Another nice bungle going on to a bunch of those Stalkers, but now with +2 about to finish for Trap and these Blink Stalkers, it just doesn't look like Shine is enough to defend this. Pulling the drones even.
Yeah, pulling the drones off the line here, and it looks like Trap is going to tie up this series. He's just got too much, way too much DPS in these Stalkers. The Immortals survived the entire battle. The Infestors got the Stalkers, most of them down to low, but it doesn't matter if they don't die, they still do their DPS. And it just goes to show Infestors are support units. They can't be the core of your army.
Which is unfortunately what Shine kind of went for. Now Archon's on the way as well. Shine just going to have to deal with those as well. Trap sending them across the map. And now just with this huge army taking out this 2nd base as well, Shine's going to have to call GG soon.
Yeah, I think he's typing it right now. GG. We have a tie game yet again here at Pro League 2014. And a really nice game by Trap. Just handling that Roach pressure very nicely. And once all the Roaches started to fade away, he had the better army. His 3rd base was damaged, but it was still mining. And then he killed his opponent's 3rd. The 4th base was not mining for Shine. So he was basically on 2 bases, long distance mining from a 3rd base against a Protoss on 3 with really nice tech with those Immortals coming out.
Yeah, he did a really nice push there with a ton of Stalkers after that as well. He had a bunch of Immortals in the mix as well. He had just gotten Blink and +2 is on the way. It was just too strong.